Okay. And so for today, um, what we're going to tap on is something that I am personally moving through and have moved through before, but I feel like this is always a good topic and something that's not necessarily normalized or talked about. And it's going to be about like normalizing the fact that it's okay for female friendships to end, that it's okay that we let go of people in our lives that maybe aren't serving a purpose anymore, that maybe aren't aligned with us anymore. And just knowing that we deserve to have really good relationships and we deserve to have really good friendships. And we, don't need to keep people around just because we've known them for so long. And we don't have to keep people around just because we don't want to hurt their feelings, you know? And I feel like I moved through this 2 years ago now with a friend, and it was so hard to like come to the decision to actually end the friendship, right? It's like so hard to do because I feel like we're so socialized to think that friendships never end. Like romantic relationships, yeah, that's okay. That's okay to have breakups, but for like friendships, it's not normalized. And I feel like even in all TV shows, like in Friends, they're literally friends for like, their entire lives. And like Sex and the City, they're friends for their entire lives. And even I was just watching the Vanderpump reunion today. I don't know if you guys watched it, but like, how are they still friends? Like, they like what? Just like, you guys need to like separate. And I feel like there's so many reasons that we stay friends with people or in partnerships or relationships or whatever it is. But there's so many reasons that we like stay in it because it's comfortable to stay in it, because it's feels safe. It's something that we know. Um, but on the other side of that, I feel like if we're in these friendships and if they're taking up a lot of our energy, or if they're really exhausting, like if there's a partnership or a relationship that we're in, and when we're hanging out with that person, we are exhausted, or if we're exhausted afterwards, or if we feel the need to talk about that person after we hang out with them just to vent and to like get it out of our system, like that's just, it's such an energy suck, right? It's like so much time wasted that we're spending on that person, and they're probably not doing that same thing back necessarily. And so I feel like this is just something that should be normalized in general, that all female friendships, yeah, some of them do last forever. And those ones are like fucking magical. And like, that's great. If you can grow and evolve together, I feel like that's when you're good, right? But I think in life, we all go through really big things and we have like really big life events. And those big life events change our chemistry. They just change us, they change who we are. And it forces us to grow and it forces us to become a different person. And sometimes the friends in our lives might not necessarily grow at the same pace, or maybe they grow in a different way. So like, and that's okay. It's like you could just be going along steady and doing the same thing, and then maybe you just branch off. And there's like a difference in opinion, and there's like not an alignment anymore. Doesn't mean that one person's bad and another person's good. It just means that there's just a difference now. And that's totally okay. And so I feel like there's always this, at least how I felt with mine, just like, this fear of tethering that, because there's like, maybe there's a lot of a past. Maybe there's like a really big past with somebody and you feel like guilty for letting go of that. Maybe you went through a really big traumatic experience together and therefore you feel like you have to be in their lives forever, something like that. And so, yeah, just knowing that this is normal, knowing that when we do cut ties with these people that might be taking up a lot of our energy, that actually leaves like this really like beautiful space within ourselves. Like if you let go of that, it leaves so much space to let so much more in. And I feel like I experienced that like firsthand when I had my friend breakup a couple years ago, and that was 2 years ago. And I let go of like one friend, which then let go of like a group of 10 friends. So it was like a lot to like let go of. But my life has like literally completely flipped upside down and changed for the better since then, because if you let something go and if you let it go in a way that's loving and in a way that's like forgiving and in a way that's like This is okay. And this is just meant to be. There's like no hate there. It's just like all love. You just leave a lot of space for something else to enter in. And so that is what we're going to tap on today. And so I don't know if anybody has journals or not, but if not, just think about, I don't know if this resonates or not, but I feel like usually when one person's going through something, like other people are going through a similar thing. So maybe this resonates, maybe it doesn't. But if you can think of anybody in your life right now that this resonates with, if it's a partner or a friend or a coworker or family member or whatever it is, just kind of like thinking about who that might be. And maybe as we're tapping, it will come up. If there's nobody that you think about, that's also fine. Maybe this will just be great for the future and just kind of like a good knowledge to have in the future. And then one other thing is also to think about like a time in your life that you did something like really fucking courageous and really bold and really big, and something that maybe you were really scared of, but you did it and you were really proud of yourself afterwards. Like if that was moving to a new state or a new country, or quitting your job and starting a new job, or, starting a family, or literally like, getting like a workout routine. Like what is there like something that you did that was like big and you were scared of, but you did it and you took the risk and it worked out in your favor? Like just think of something like that and like remind yourself that you're a fucking badass, that you can do anything that you put your mind to, and that it's all going to work out okay. And the fear of the unknown is hard, but there's always something really, really beautiful on the other side, in my experience. Okay, cool. All right, well, let's get to tapping. Everybody just make sure that you're muted. And that way we aren't all screaming into the microphone at the same time. Okay. If for those of us that have not tapped before, what we're going to do is we're not going to start yet, but we'll start on the side of the hand, right here. And basically what it is I'll say a statement and then you'll just repeat it back. And so I'll say something and then I'll leave space for you to say it back, and then we'll just keep going like that. And then we'll switch to the top of the head up here. So you're basically just going to follow the points that I'm doing and repeat after me. But it's top of the head, like start of the eyebrow, the temples, like right where the eye bone is, and then upper lip, lower lip, right on the collarbone. And then this is pretty much just the full bra line right here. So it's just like a big point. You can use your whole hand. And then the wrists together. Okay, cool. All right, this is like a big one. I'm like, whew, about it. Okay. All right. Let's all just take one more inhale and exhale because I need it. So exhale all the air. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. All right. So we're going to start right here on the side of the hand. Perfect. I know that it's normal for friendships to end. Even though it's not normalized, I know that I deserve the best relationships. Whether that's a partner or a friend, I deserve only the best. Because I know my worth and I know what I give. And damn, I give a lot. I am a really good friend. And sometimes in my relationships, I feel like I'm not met with the same level. I sometimes leave feeling exhausted. I sometimes leave feeling overwhelmed. And honestly, it just makes me nauseous thinking about it because I've lived my entire life thinking that friendships should last forever. Why is it okay that romantic relationships can end, but that friendships have to last forever? It just does not make sense. And even though I've had this belief for a long time, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. And now I know that TV shows aren't always real. You know, Friends seems like a lot of fun. And Vanderpump, oh my God. How are they all still friends? And I know deep down in my gut that there is one relationship in my life right now that I want to cut ties with. And it makes me nervous. What if I hurt their feelings? What if they blow up at me? What if they light my house on fire? Just kidding, that's not going to happen. But it is scary to have these hard conversations. And even though I do have this fear of having a difficult conversation, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. Okay, stop there, take a breath in, let it go. All right, so we're going to go to the top of the head point here. And the thing is, sorry, I don't really like conflict. I don't like having these hard conversations. And maybe that's because it was never modeled to me as a child. And that's because it was probably never modeled to my parents. And the cool thing is that I can break that cycle. I can choose to have hard conversations, or I can choose to cut ties with people in my life if it's no longer feeling good. Because right now I can think of my best friend and I think of how my best friend makes me feel, how I feel so safe and loved when I'm with them, how I feel like I can be completely myself when I'm with them. I never have to overthink anything. We just laugh the whole time. And that is what a friendship is supposed to feel like. And if I'm feeling anything less than that loving feeling, then maybe that person isn't supposed to be in my life anymore. And maybe we just aren't aligned anymore. Because when I think of how much time I can get back, if I don't have to think of this person or talk about this person, or vent about this person, I mean, I could take a 2-week vacation with that time. I could be in fucking Mexico having a margarita. And that sounds way more fun than venting. And so, even though I find it hard to address conflict and to cut ties with people in my life, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. And now I know that it is totally normal for some friendships to come to an end. And the way that I see it right now is that there is a fork in the road and I'm standing in the middle. And this person is standing right there next to me. And we're able to look at each other and say that we love each other. And say, damn, we had some fucking good ass times. And mind you, this is definitely a yellow brick road situation. Both of these are going to lead to Oz. And then we can each walk down our separate paths and walk into our huge, new, beautiful lives. Knowing that we'll always be a memory in each other's lives. We'll always have had such a massive impact on each other. And that every single bit of this relationship was worth it. And more than anything, I know that I deserve only the best. When I'm with my best friend, I want to feel like a little kid again. I want to feel like I'm running through the field, doing cartwheels and hula hooping. Because that is fun. And I want to laugh all the time. And when I leave, I want to feel energized. And I want to feel inspired. And I want to feel truly heard and truly seen. So I guess what I'm saying is I want it to be easy. I'm done with overthinking. I'm done with venting. I'm ready just to move on. And I'll always remember the awesome times that we had. And I'll always remember the lessons that I've learned from this experience. And I now know that this is okay. I now know that this is totally normal. And it might not be the easiest thing in the world, but when big things like this in our lives change, it allows for magic to flood in. And I'm ready for some magic. I feel like just thinking about this, I just think of fields of rainbows and butterflies. And it just makes me really excited to think about what's to come. And so, even though maybe there's still a little bit of fear around this topic, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. And I'm ready to do whatever I need to do to make sure that I'm happy. And so it is. All right, take a breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. All right, good job, everybody. We did it. Cool. All right, well, that was all.